Hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest.
Thank you.
You know, as well as I do, as well as you do, as well as he does. This is the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18 right here in the Great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday night, 9 p.m. Pacific. I'm Chris of the Northwest, and we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're trying to make up for things on the naughty list, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
And tonight, let's talk about multi-caches.
Multis?
So good, they're as good as multiple caches, all rolled into one.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, we want to hear from the audience. Share your thoughts with us, as you often do, and we appreciate that. What's your favorite multi? Any tips on hiding multis? What's the longest multi? Both number of steps and distance covered. Tell us all those things. We'll chat about them. It'll be fun. But first, we'd like to offer a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. That would be Land Sharks. They're one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. And whether you're new to the game or found, well, all the multis there are to be had in a 25-mile radius, wander over, check out Landsharks with a Z.ca for all your geocaching needs. Our other corporate Denali level sponsor is Gold Country Geotourism. They want to remind you to start planning for when travel opens back up by visiting exploregoldcountry.com. You can learn all about the Geo Tour, the Gold Country region, and all kinds of fascinating information at exploregoldcountry.com or even facebook.com/exploregoldcountry, when Facebook is up. I heard it went down, and I didn't even notice, and I didn't even care. But if you would like to know more about supporting this show, head over and click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website.
Thank you for doing that. Yes, Facebook went down this week.
Yeah,
so did
I heard.
WhatsApp and Instagram.
Yep. Didn't notice any of them.
Didn't notice.
Didn't care.
Yeah, I heard people like, well, how am I going to communicate with my friends? Yeah, you're probably doing Facebook from a phone. Call them. Talk to them go over and see them in person. Now, I realize, you may have friends from all over, but you get the point, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't all have to be through an app.
Just be glad you have friends. Some of us don't.
Except unless you're listening to podcasts through an app, then that's okay. Maybe.
You could even be watching us tonight live on Facebook.
That's right.
Because Facebook's back up now. So we care about Facebook at 9 p.m. Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise.
Rest of the week, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you know. I do try to get on Facebook and wish all of our listeners a happy birthday.
Oh, you're a nice guy.
Go friend me on Facebook and make sure your birthday's up. Well, if you want your birthday to be shown, right? You don't have to.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to share that information. But if you do, I'll try to wish you a happy birthday.
You can friend me on Facebook too, but I may not see the friend request for 6 or 8 months.
That's because Facebook's down for you all the time, isn't it?
It's down for me all the time.
And you're not down to Facebook.
Maybe.
Oh, I could be witty.
You could be.
Yeah, that may not be witty, but I could be. And you know what else it could be? It could be time for the glow. That's the geocaching log of the week. Whether you wrote it, whether you read it, we want to hear about it. You may ask why. Why do we care?
Why?
We care because great logs simply make geocaching better. Now, you can send an email or a recording to feedback@cachingandw.com. And of course, you can call in. I'll say this slowly so you can get it. 253-693-TFTC. That's 253-693-TFTC. And show us how you glow. I'll repeat that number 25 more times so you can't forget it.
I'll mute his mic while I read the glow that came in from Trexer0, who found Gold Country. Speaking of Gold Country, how about that?
Yeah.
Gold Country Big Bar Lake Guest Ranch. I like it already. That's GC1 Tango Quebec 4 Whiskey. And we're all for whiskey at the Big Bar Lake Guest Ranch. No, not really.
Quebec is for whiskey.
Okay. The log says, today was a momentous occasion for me, as a cache find today would mark the 1,000th day of my daily find streak. That's impressive. I seemed lucky to commemorate this occasion in Gold Country, and after watching the sunset last night, I vowed to get up early and celebrate this occasion by finding this cache at what I thought would be a decent vantage point to catch the sun rising across the lake. The early morning wake-up was most certainly worth it, as I unzipped the tent and was already treated to a stunning skyscape before my eyes. And there's the picture if you're watching the live video feed. I quickly headed out towards the hill near the cache to take in the sky from a great lookout. I couldn't believe as the sky continued to transform before my eyes with deep shades of red, orange, and purple, all reflected off the glass-like surface of the lake, with fish jumping on the shoreline bordered by a mysterious layer of fog. What a treat and golden gift to start off the day. With pictures snapped, it was time now to uncover the cache and officially mark this milestone by adding my name to a logbook. Thank you for bringing me out to this amazing location, which I'm sure I would have never experienced without this geo tour. Gold Country has some amazing places, and British Columbia really does have many beautiful locations. I agree it does.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing the picture. That made it even better. Really brought it home for all the people listening to the audio podcast. But
exactly. Just imagine a sunset and multiply it times 10.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Maybe 9.5. Depends on how good your sunsets are. No, I'm going with 10. I'm
Okay.
pretty confident with that.
Yeah, I think it probably rose earlier than 10, but that's fine.
Oh. Well, it depends what time of year.
Yeah. You'd probably like it if sunrise didn't rise till 10.
I'm convinced if God wanted us to see sunrises, he'd put them later in the day.
And I'm convinced he put them just right.
Yeah, he probably did. In fact, I'm going to say he did. He pretty much knows what he's doing. Hey, if you want to or contribute, that's it, not continue. If you want to contribute to tonight's chat, we need all the help we can get. Use the hashtag multi if you happen to be watching live. And of course, you can use the hashtag FATAS if you want to bring up something in the after show.
Is that like multi-tool?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's two of us.
Yeah.
Hey, there's some things I wanted to bring up. I think last week we talked about Reach the Peak and Elbrus for the month of October.
Okay. I don't remember what we talked about.
I think we had the amounts wrong or the points wrong for the different types of caches. So I wanted to bring that up again. Okay. So let me restate by saying each month Reach the Peak has a different point values for finding geocaches and adventures to celebrate International Earth Cache Day. Hey, that's happening this weekend, folks. Which takes place the second weekend of every October, not just some of them.
Okay.
And the fascinating geology of Elbrus, finding an Earth cache during the hike up to Elbrus will earn geocachers 750 points. Here are the point values for making the climb to the top of Elbrus, whatever you want to. Let's call it Elvis. I like that.
Sure.
Okay. Find an Earth cache, 750. Find a cache with 10 or more favorite points, 750. Mystery cache is 600. Letterbox hybrid is 550. Multicache is 450. Adventure lab location 350. And of course, anything else that you can mark a find it on, 325 points. There. I think we got that all squared away. There are your point values. Earth caches, favorite caches are your winners this month.
Sounds good.
Go
And
out.
if we didn't get it right, either the people in the chat will let us know, or Land Monkey will correct us when he gets back.
Nah, I don't think he will.
Okay.
Gas Station Tuna says reached the peak yesterday. Puzzles made it easy.
Oh, yeah. I like puzzles. Most of the time.
A mystery
Sometimes
cache, 600 points. Yeah.
Yeah. There are a few right around here that I need to sit down and work on. I saw them on the map and thought, ooh, new puzzle. I gotta go check that one out. Well, as you mentioned, this weekend coming up is International Earth Cache Day. You can have a chance to earn a unique souvenir and learn something new about our Earth. That's Saturday, October 9th and Sunday, October 10th. You just need to visit an Earth Cache, complete the logging tasks, and log it online during the weekend. Yeah, don't just roll your little eyes at me like that. I saw that. And for this special weekend, here's a bonus. All non-premium Earth caches will be available in the geocaching app for everyone. So if you're not a premium member, you can go find all the premium Earth caches this weekend only.
Sunday,
and every
Sunday,
weekend.
Sunday.
Yes, and every weekend once you upgrade to premium, because you'll find that you love it so much that you'll do it.
It's worth it. Now, tonight, I don't want to talk about Earth caches.
We did. We're done.
It's Earth Cache weekend. Big deal. I want to talk about multi-caches. Why do I want to talk about multi-caches? Let me tell you why.
Please do.
Wits End and I just did one. And you know what? They're a lot of fun. There. I told you why.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Oh, no. There's more. Yeah, we did do a multi this weekend. It was fun. Earned a favorite point from me, I might add.
Yes. J-Car says, multi-caches? My favorite.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I have enjoyed them since my earliest days of geocaching. One of my favorite one was something called Under Control. I was on a vacation in California. And it sticks out as one of my favorite early caches. Just a two-stage multi, but it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
what do we know about multis?
Well, I was going to say, as the name multi might lead you to believe, multi-caches include at least one stage in addition to the physical final container. It has a logbook. That makes them multiple locations, commonly abbreviated as a multi. The posted coordinates for the multi-cache are the first stage, and then at each stage, a geocacher gathers information that leads them to the next stage, or ultimately to the final container. As we mentioned, they can have more than one or more than 2 points, but I don't know how many. If there's a limit or not, we might get to that there. These stages can be physical or virtual, so there is that. And some examples let's just run through some examples of multi-cache stages or waypoints, or however you want to talk about it. So you could do a couple things. You could find a container or an object that provides coordinates. I have found, I just happen to have an example right here, a metal tag with coordinates stamped into it.
Oh.
Yeah, look at that. I've found stickers on the back of signs. We have even found count the number of knots on a string. That one was fun. So find something like that. Or what else could we find?
Oh, we could find anything. We could, be given find a container. Yeah. We could be given a formula to convert to coordinates or clues.
That sounds like math.
Yeah, kind of earth cachey. No, it's not. We could count objects at a location, right? So count the number of yellow posts in this parking lot.
True. Number of ferns,
benches.
Yeah.
Those are pretty common, and they're okay. Or maybe count the number of eyelets on the boot of this statue.
True. How many ducklings are at that statue? I remember that one recently.
Solve a simple math expression.
Yeah, or a cipher. Also, could not be not necessarily math, but similar to the hint that's decrypted or encrypted on the cache page. You could be A equals min B equals 2. You could be reverse cipher. The cache description might tell you exactly what that cipher is, or it might not.
Caesar salad cipher.
Hmm.
Wait, maybe I'm just hungry. You could have multiple choice questions about something at this location. If the pole is blue, then B equals 2.
Oh, yeah.
If the pole is yellow, B equals 1.
If you try to swim your way out of the quicksand, turn to page 24.
Choose your own adventure.
I think we've done a cache that has a choose your own adventure theme.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I think we have. You could solve a simple field puzzle. I think that kind of is very similar to what we've already talked about.
Add up all the numbers and the date.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, what's the fourth word? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then something we were just kicking around before the show started. You could follow a projection. Now, this is not an astral projection.
Oh.
But
it must be a hologram then.
Oh, yeah, something like that. Wet Coaster contributes that we found the multicache this week that was a projection from the given coordinates. No need to visit the posted coordinates. How was that a multi and not a puzzle?
Aha, but doing a projection is actually part of a multi. Now,
yes, because the posted coordinates were the first spot, right?
Just finding our way says should have been a puzzle. Maybe. Oh,
enthusiastic thumbs up from Peanut Gallery there.
Peanut Gallery says that should be a puzzle, not a multi. Good question. So yeah, it's interesting. Now, I know a lot of people, well, me early on, that didn't know how to do a projection. Right? And that's kind of a thing that I don't know if a lot of people know how to do anymore. So a projection consists of two parts: a direction and a distance. We do it all the time giving directions, right? You're going to head north for 2 miles and then turn right. Guess what? That's a projection right there, a direction and a distance. So I was looking around and I found out that you can do this by adding a waypoint in Cachely by selecting a projection. You can also do it in GC Droid, and it will turn out actual coordinates for you.
It'll add the dot on the map and allow you to navigate to said compass point and everything. It's handy. It kind of goes back to orienteering or just basic map and compass skills. So I like that idea.
So yeah, I think it's fantastic. In fact, I think I should do that.
I think we did one years ago that had both sides of the Tacoma Narrows, as I recall, but that's been a while.
I remember doing one on like the Bridge of Glass, do a projection towards, there was a mural up on one of the buildings.
Okay.
If you're looking at that, you're looking in the right direction. I think the CO put on, something in the distance to help you get the right direction pointed. So anyway, projections, really simple to do. Software can help you. Geocaching toolkit can help you do it. If you put in the proper coordinates, you can put in a direction. Now, the direction could be in degrees, right? At 25 degrees, 90 degrees, whatever. And then you put your distance in feet or meters, depending on what you're doing. It could be yards. It could be any distance, right?
Could be.
There you go. Gas station tuna says Cachely will do it for you now. Just add the variables. Right. It looks for direction and it looks for distance. And then you just Yeah, it'll give you actual coordinates.
If you have both magnitude and direction, you're a vector, right?
Ooh,
Oh, that's different.
that's a different show.
Sounds like a made-up superhero.
Now, so some people were saying that GC Droid will also do a projection for you. Let me know if your software does. I didn't see it in the Geocachinger app, but I think other softwares will do it too. So let us know if your chosen geocaching app will do it. Earlier on, we had the question. Not earlier, it was just a few moments ago. Should it be a mystery cache or a multi-cache?
Yes.
It can be tricky to tell the difference. When in doubt, here's a comparison chart. Are you ready?
Ooh, I love a good chart or graph.
Hey, where'd my chart go?
I don't know. I'm waiting with anticipation.
I had a chart.
I have an entire chair here, and I'm only using the edge. Okay. Well, while he's looking for his chart.
Well, now I'm really bummed.
So am I. I haven't even seen the chart.
Hold, please.
I'm more holding.
Wits End, will you fill in the time with the song?
A little song and dance? No. But I could, I could talk about the lava lamp in Soap Lake, Washington. The paradoxical ooze that rules the world. We talked about that previously. It doesn't really help.
Oh. Okay.
So the difference between multis and mysteries.
Okay.
Because they both consist of multiple points or places to visit, right?
So multi-caches must have multiple stages.
Okay.
Where mystery caches may have multiple stages.
True. They don't. Yes, they don't have to have multiple stages.
Right.
They often do, because often the mystery caches that I see most often published around me are not at the the cache is not at the published locations, and that's usually the first line of the cache description. The cache is not at the published coordinates. I think great, because it's in the middle of the freeway, or it's in the middle of a lake, or something like that.
Exactly. Well, that's the second point. The posted coordinates must be for the first stage of a multi.
Mm-hmm.
And for a mystery, they may be bogus. They could be parking coordinates.
Or they could be bogus.
Totally bogus.
Yeah. Okay, so good distinction. They could just take you to the start of a trail. They could take you something, but not a stage of a cache. But yeah, most often I think mine are what I see listed here as the bogus ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Often ending in often ending in an even number of coordinates end in .000 or something, just because it looks good. 867 5309. Yeah, I don't know.
Right. Don't lose that number. Now, a multi-cache can be found by reading the cache page and following the instructions in the field. A mystery cache cannot be found without calculation or research that goes beyond reading the cache page. Don't know if I knew that it goes beyond reading the cache page.
Beyond.
Oh, beyond. A multi-cache can include a projection. The projection must be calculated in the field using bearing and distance from one of the stages. In a mystery cache, if the cache includes a projection, the projection may be calculated on the posted coordinates without visiting the location.
So you could do it strictly from a map without actually going out to the published coordinates. You could do the projection, armchair projection, we might call that. We might not, but we might.
Yeah. That I think that would be fine to call that. MC3 Cat says with multis, it's assumed the cache is not at the listed chords, but sometimes the cache is.
Yes, and I tend to assume that with mysteries, and sometimes I am wrong about that. I remember finding one not too long ago that I was surprised to run through all the puzzles that I got at the published coordinates, only to find that, lo and behold, it was right there. In fact, I went back to I was traveling. I went back to the place I was staying and noodled the numbers again. I thought, I didn't do that right, because No, that's still no. It's right there. Okay, it went. Yep, it was there. I just had to do a little looking. That was fun. Frustrating
So
at
it
the
was
time,
at the
but fun.
published coordinates
It
of the
was.
mystery.
Yeah.
But
Even after.
after you solved it,
Yeah. And it was like a welcome to this city sign with multiple Rotary and Kiwanis Lions clubs
Mhm.
logos and things, and it was, take the last number of the phone number for the blacksmith in town or whatever the tradesman was, and I ran through all those things, and wait a minute, it's here. But it was well camouflaged.
Let's see. We've got some other things here. Dick says it's important to give the bearing as true instead of magnetic. Speaking of north.
Okay.
Right? Gas Station Tuna says, if you have a multi-stage puzzle, like go to a physical location and get info and solve a puzzle that takes you to the next stage, is that a multi or a puzzle?
Yes.
Well, reading our chart there, it could be either. It depends on how you solve some of those waypoints. JCar says GPS units usually have projections built in. Okay. Now, Starcacher says, of the multis I own, some are because the posted coordinates would not allow for a physical container. Some are murals where I wanted to take the cachers to get info to calculate the final coordinates. White Coaster says, if you have to go to the posted coordinates to start, then it can be a multi. If you don't, it should be a puzzle.
Yeah. And that doesn't count if the cache owner intended for you to go to the posted coordinates as the first step, and you decide to Google Maps solve it, Street View noodle it. It's still a multi, even though you chose to do it online.
That's right. Starcacher also says, because multi-stages often go missing, my favorite owned multi is a 4-stage cache where the first 2 stages have alternate locations to each to find the final 2 locations are more muggle protected.
Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting. Now, one of the things of a multi is it has to have multiple waypoints, right?
Right.
And a waypoint is a set of coordinates associated with a geocache?
Yes, multiple types of those.
Right. And it could be lots of different things. It could be a physical stage. It could be, are you ready for this? A virtual stage.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it could be a parking area. It could be a reference point. It could be a trailhead. It could be the final. Those are all different types of waypoints. Now, physical stage, that's pretty obvious, right? Cache owner has placed an item, such as a container or a tag. It could be a brass tag with numbers punched in it.
Could be.
And it has to be at least 528 feet or 161 meters away from physical stages of other geocaches.
But not necessarily from other stages of your own multicache.
Bingo. Pro tip.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Virtual stages is a waypoint where the cache owner has not placed an item. Maybe it's a mural, right? We just had a good example.
And many years ago there, I did a multi-stage cache here in Tacoma consisting of murals. And you might, I think you probably drive 15 or 20 miles around town finding these murals before you get the final location, which oddly enough was across the street from where the first mural started the whole journey, which I think is fairly common. But that was a fun one. I remember I enjoyed doing that early on.
I need to do that one. So at these virtual stages, geocachers may gather information to help them find or complete the cache. A virtual stage can be within 528 feet or 161 meters of other geocaches.
Okay,
That makes sense?
Yeah, the distance is restricted to physical locations, not virtual locations.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
I thought it is.
Other waypoints could be parking areas, reference points, or trailheads. So this is a place where you need to start your hike. This is a good place to park your car. They don't necessarily help you find or complete the cache, but they're listed as that's a waypoint. That could even apply to a traditional cache. I've seen traditional caches that when you look at it in your caching app, another waypoint is listed as a good place to park. 'Cause sometimes it's not obvious where the best place to park is, and it's nice if you're a cache owner to include those, especially if some of the enticing parking locations are not necessarily safe or legal parking locations.
Exactly.
So that's helpful.
And I find it helpful because you could look at a map and go, oh, wait, that may be an entrance to the park that's a lot closer than the other. But if you put parking coordinates in there, then that eliminates all question.
Yeah.
Wet Coaster says a few years ago there was 100+ stage multi in Ontario. Ooh. It didn't last long.
Yeah, I like multis. I've said it before, and I still maintain that I do enjoy multis. That one, though, unless it was something really unique about it and really special, that would frustrate me.
Yeah. Well, you and I did one several years ago. It was in a parking lot down near 72nd. And it took us, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 visits to solve this one. Because every stage we went to, there was a problem of some sort, right? The container was missing, or whatever the coordinates inside the container were missing. So, we'd go on our lunch hour. We'd, hunt through, find, yay, we found the first waypoint. And then, okay, here's the second. There's something wrong. So we go back after lunch, contact the CO, and come and fix it. Next couple of days, we go back down, find that. Okay, we found that one. Now the next one. I want to say it took us like 4 weeks to complete that. Of not seriously trying, but at least one visit a week. It just stands out in my memory. It's like, yeah. If you have a multicache, you've got to stay on top of it.
Yeah, one of the other ones that we did was one of my favorite night caches. Not the one you're thinking of, but this one was over in Gig Harbor with fire tax in an urban parking lot scenario. And those waypoints were not necessarily 528 feet apart. But I remember it was frustrating because some of the fire tax had been either grown over by foliage, or in one case even had a large vehicle parked, a truck or something, motorhome parked in front of the post where we were trying to find it. So, but that was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Now, is that a true multi using fire tax?
It was a night cache. I don't know.
That more of a mystery? That's something we need reviewer help on.
I considered it a multi.
Help
I
from
considered
our
it a multi. I think the reviewer's madly typing as I'm looking in there. I can tell because he's looking down at his keyboard. It's not touch typing. But so what else you got?
Sorry, I got distracted by shiny objects. So here's some pro tips. There must be a reviewer somewhere in this chat.
I know.
No reviewers. Okay. Ready for pro tips. You can use virtual waypoints in place of physical waypoints to avoid saturation in crowded areas, especially parks and such, right? Where they want to maximize the number of caches. So by using those virtual waypoints, it doesn't really count towards the distance limitations. Right. It still allows you to place caches there.
Yeah. And as somebody else pointed out, some places you just are restricted. You can't place a physical object or a waypoint there. Excuse me. So virtual is the way to go in that case.
Well, take a look at these murals, right? That's a
Yeah.
great example. Murals anywhere, really. You don't want to put an ammo can at the base of a mural and hope that it lasts. That's
Yeah.
not going to work. I don't think it would be appropriate to try to wedge a micro in somewhere in or around the mural.
Yeah.
So there, having a virtual waypoint and count the number of red cats in this mural,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think is just fine. We'll go on, but Starcacher says, I personally don't like to go for multis that are more than 3 stages. I also wish all multi owners would say how many stages the multi has so the cache seeker knows what to expect.
Yeah, and I've seen that fairly often, where the
Mhm.
cache runner will say, "Well, this is a short walk through the park that contains 3 or 4 points," or you're going to need a vehicle for this one, drive things. I agree that it would be nice to include for some. I suppose you could make the case that for some multis it might spoil something about it, but I do think there should be not necessarily a warning, but something in the description if it is going to be a significant time investment or the distances are going to require a vehicle to drive around town like that one, or in the case of the 100+ location one, that I would just put immediately on my block list and say, well, that's just not gonna get done by me. So
That would take more than a couple of visits during
yeah,
lunch hour.
if it's just 2 or 3 stages, well, I wouldn't say you'd have to list it. You still could. It would be polite. If it's more than 3 or 4 stages, I would say definitely list it so people know what to expect.
Yeah. Well, let us know in the chat what you guys think. What is a good number of stages to have in a multi? Now, some of you may love 100 plus. Others may, say if it's more than 3, I'm done.
Yeah.
Let me know. Let me know what you think.
And there could be a multi out there of 100 points that I would be thrilled to do, depending on the location, the theme, or the requirements of it. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I'm not going to absolutely say no, because there might be something really fascinating about the journey, and it's the journey to me that's most enjoyable.
Komokino wants one.
Okay.
He's unclear on the topic here.
Yeah.
Of
One
multi-cache
is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. 2 can be as sad as 1. It's the loneliest number since the number 1.
What about 3 cats?
MC. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So physical or virtual waypoints don't take up any space, right? That's a bad term, but they don't count towards the distance requirements to avoid. Now, you can place your geocaches or your physical waypoints. You have to place them at least 161 meters, 528 feet from physical waypoints of other geocaches, right? Before the show, we were talking. The chat lackey says, the shortest multi is a compact or a contact lens case that says "Open me first" on one side, and says, now open the other side. There's the log, right? So that's a multi because it gives you directions to find the next stage.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
that's a pretty short distance.
That's a pretty short one, yeah.
Unless you can find a 162 meter wide contact lens case.
I'll 3D print one for you.
Oh, would you?
No, I won't.
I'd like to see you do that.
Oh.
And it is important that you mentioned the distance between physical locations of all caches, including other caches. Sometimes you might try to hide a cache, and the reviewer will say, sorry, no, that's very close to the physical location of a multi that you never even solved and didn't know was there. But
right.
Yeah. It could
Great.
happen.
Can you tell me all the other locations of that multi, please?
No, but you can go around and try to hide it in every point in the park that might know. Don't do that.
They'll just say no. Now, physical waypoints that belong to a single geocache, a multi-cache, can be closer than 161 meters, 528 28 feet, right? We just said that with the
Yeah.
the
The-
contact lens case.
Yeah.
Right. So even physical locations can be closer than that. They don't
well,
have
of your own multicache. Yes, that's
of
true.
your own multicache.
Yes, I may
your
have
own
misstated that a
geocache.
minute ago.
You don't place physical waypoints that belong to your geocache too close to other physical waypoints of a different cache, right? I'm stating this multiple different ways on purpose, right? So you can put them close to each other for your own, but not too close to others. Okay. And don't rely on the map for knowing where these locations are, right? Because there's a lot of other types of caches that may have waypoints, physical waypoints that you can't see. Let's see. The bridges and arches of Central Park is the only large numbered multi-cache that I would want to do. Now,
and I think I saw earlier in the chat that's like 32 steps. Yeah. But it's Central Park.
Right.
That's a nice place. That's
and
a big
so,
park.
you go out and find them all. And it's a lot of fun. Oh, there you go. Gas station tuna. Found a multi once, the shortest multi, where it was a contact lens case. You open up one side, it told you to open the other.
Yeah, Komokino, or let me see if it sounds really familiar. I'm sure I've found that one in Seattle somewhere. So, yeah.
It's out in the Ballard area.
Ah, okay.
So there you go. And they're also Kitty Quest says they're also. Oh, I'm sorry. Kitty Quest said there used to be a contact lens case multi in Victoria. Not sure, but it might be archived now.
It does happen.
Okay, so I was looking in the chat. A number of multis. Wet Coaster says 6. Maximum is 6. Number of stages should be in the listing.
Okay, yeah, because somebody asked about that. How many stages are too many stages before it stops being fun?
Yeah.
For Wet Coaster, it's 6.
And I agree. You should put that in the listing. The same goes for adventures and locations, right? Hey, this is going to be a short walk, or you might need a car for this.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to start something and go, oh, I wasn't prepared for this, especially if you're from out of town.
Yeah.
Komakino thinks it's 10.
He's saying that the Central Park 32 stage is 10 short of the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
No, it's 10.
Okay.
Short.
How do you know that's not 2?
I don't. I'm assuming base 10 over base 2.
Maybe it's octal and it's 8. But Bryline contributes, in my early days of geocaching, I had bad experiences with multis and that had multiple missing stages, so I rarely go for them. However, he has 221 finds in the multi column. That's 1.3% of his find count.
Ooh.
If you want to do a math puzzle, you could figure out 221 is 1.3% of how many? Or you could just go look at his profile page and see his finds.
Yeah, and don't go find any more until we figure this out.
It's a lot.
Starcasher says, I found 321 multis, or 3.54% of my total finds. I own 7 multis.
Oh, there you go.
That's Starcasher, not me.
Okay. I have plans to create a multi. I just haven't completed it. I have lots of plans I haven't completed. Just finding our way says, I think I've heard about a multi in Europe that involves a multi-day hike.
Wow.
So I don't know how many locations that is, but it's quite some distance.
That's commitment right there, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Brayling also put out 11 multi-caches for the Fraser Valley Cache Bash this very year.
He must wear contacts a lot.
Yes.
To put out
11.
that many.
11.
Oh, Starcasher says, of the multis I own, some are because of the posted coordinates would not allow physical containers. Some are murals and wanted to take the cachers to calculate the final chords.
Yeah.
We read that one already, but that's a good idea. if you do it, yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking people to virtual locations.
And if you have a place that you would really love your geocache to bring people to and share with them, and there's just no way to put a physical cache container there, a multi just might be your answer.
There you go. Yeah, you could start off. Can you start off a multi with a virtual location? I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I think we may have stumped the reviewer.
No, I think he's good.
Brylang says, I've done a multi-day hike for an earth cache. The earth cache was 20 kilometers from the highway.
That's a hike.
That's a hike. That's really walking. So there you have it, folks. Multi-caches. They're a lot of fun. Go out and try one.
That's when you could drive a lawnmower to, maybe.
Oh.
No.
Trexer Zero says there's been a push by a number of cachers to hide multis in the Vancouver, BC area recently to help people fill in their multi calendar. That's finding a multi on every day of the year.
That's not finding multiple calendars.
No, I mean, you go to any store towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
November, December, there's multiple calendars there to find.
Yeah. It's better to find them, though, in January, February. They're cheaper.
Oh, yeah. And they're kind of used at that point, right?
Not necessarily. Just on sale.
They have less value because the days have passed. Wait till March. June, July.
I have less value because many of my days have passed.
Is that less value or more value? You're wise. There's usually another word following that.
Acre.
But, oh, yeah, there you go. Hey, folks, thank you for tuning into this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you.
And we want to thank Landsharks and Gold Country Geotourism. They are our corporate Denali level sponsors. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online, and they ship online orders daily. For absolutely amazing geocaching adventures, check out exploregoldcountry.com. We'd also like to thank our faithful Denali level supporters. That would be Landsharks, Gold Country Geo Tour, Team Squirrel, Groovy Owl, and Cashly. If you want to know more about supporting this here very show, click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com a website. Land Monkey can say it himself next week.
Oh, you know what? You know what I forgot to play? We have a little bit from Land Monkey.
Who?
That other guy that sometimes shows up here.
I think I remember him.
Let's see. Maybe we'll play into the after show.
Could be.
So
first off, let's thank some other people.
We should, like Genies
or Sege Hove,
Ari54321,
Camp Clan,
Peach of Washington,
Antaeus,
GSM times 2,
the Geo Travelers,
Logwork,
Korsgat,
LG 9000,
Team Noltex,
Donners,
Subway Mark,
Wet Coaster,
UDAC,
Boomer 365,
U Talks 2 Rocks,
Alarobrick,
Keats 94,
CRS 98,
Limax,
Dora Moore,
Sprouter,
Emner, who's got an event coming up.
Oh, I'll have to go check that out. Greenwords,
Broncos fan for life,
Just Finding Our Way,
Seebeck Tribe,
3 Hams and a Rose,
T. Sayer,
Kid Vegas 19,
Ackerdoc,
Katie Quest,
Kev MacD,
MC 3 Cats,
B-Pen Dragon,
On a Boat,
Tick Magnet,
Gas Station Tuna,
Wino Seattle,
Trexer 0, thanks for the glow,
Fairwood West,
Kennel Barb,
GeoNav Bros,
and Skyhawker.
Ooh. Now,
Now?
Right now.
Okay.
It's the end. And the end means we have to ask a question.
This is
At
the
last.
end. Oh, okay.
Or last is listeners asked some things. And now
So
you
I've
get
heard.
to answer. If you'd like to ask some things, call into 253-693-TFTC. That's 253-693-TFTC. Or email your question to feedback@cachingnw.com. Here's the question for tonight. It's a food-related question. If you had your option, would you rather have sushi or tacos for life?
I like them both.
Hmm.
Does this mean exclusively if I choose sushi, I can never have anything else? Or there's just an unlimited supply whenever I want sushi, it's available?
Well, let's say this is all you can have.
Still
Now-
both good options because there's a wide variety of items that can be considered sushi, and I can think of quite a variety of different style of tacos,
Mhm.
including one of my favorites, the Choco Taco.
Is there chocolate sushi?
There must be. You know, when you first asked this, my gut reaction was tacos, so I'm going to go with that. Final answer. I'm not even going to phone a friend
Oh,
unless I'm going to invite them for tacos.
do you want to ask the audience?
Sure.
Brylang says tacos. MC3 Cat says tacos.
Mm-hmm.
Wet Coaster says sushi. Brylang says fish, beef, chicken, or pork tacos.
Mm-hmm.
MC3 Cats is going to muddy the water with sushi tacos.
Well, I think fish tacos
It's
could
still a
qualify
taco.
they could qualify for both. Yeah.
Trexer says so many different
Yeah.
tacos from Kitty Quest.
Kitty Quest. Yes, thanks.
Trexer says yes, but so much sushi too.
Yes, so much sushi too. See, that's the thing. There's a wide variety of things that could be considered both. So
Starcasher says tacos is I do not like seafood, but I would choose tacos without cheese.
okay, fair enough.
Okay.
I've never had cheese in a Choco Taco.
Oh, I'm not a fan of sushi, so obvious choice for me is taco.
But you like fish
But-
tacos.
I do love fish tacos,
So
and J Car wants burgers.
if you fold it
He's
into
unclear
a
on the concept.
if you fold it into a tortilla, it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a taco. So yeah.
Komakino, our Japanese expert of the day, says taco, T-A-K-O, is the Japanese word for octopus.
Okay. Did not know that. Now I do.
Okay, Bryling, you just don't understand the question. Burgers and beer is not an appropriate answer.
Well, just because he answers that does not mean he doesn't understand the question. It could just mean that he's being belligerent and
He's being smart with another word on it. And
it could be.
but we'll just leave it at smart.
Okay. He's a smart guy.
Yes. Calamari tacos.
There you go.
Still a taco.
It's a taco.
Here, this is really a good question from Wet Coaster. If you don't cut the burger bun all the way through, does that make it a taco?
I think you could stretch the definition of that, by which case I would say a chili dog also qualifies.
Yeah. Is a hot dog a taco?
Yeah, see, exactly.
It's, yeah. Have you seen the new Taco Bell commercials about the taco sandwich?
Yeah.
Ingredients stacked vertically is a taco. I don't know.
I've seen it, yeah.
Anyway, folks, we're not here to talk about commercials, but we are here to tell you thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support keeps quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website. If you didn't like the show, let us know what you want us to talk about, because we'll probably do it. In either case, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and so many more. Subscribe, and give us a review. You can call 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us the question, or give us the final to a tough multi any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingandw.com. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2021 by Chris Umfenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for the after show.
The after show.
My audio's not working well tonight. I'm a little off. Okay.
You know who else is a little off? Land Monkey is off on assignment.
Should we hear what he has to say? Or
Well,
we just skip?
We could just skip right over him, but I don't think we'd never hear the end of that.
Here, let me know if you hear this properly. Here we go.
Hey guys, it is the Land Monkeys from Bermuda. We are having an awesome adventure here with the Land Sharks. I want to shout out a special thanks to Chris and Jim for hosting the podcast. Without me, I'm sure it's going much better than it would otherwise without me disrupting everything there. So I'll just throw in my little disruption here. We are having an amazing time here in Bermuda, finding lots of amazing places. If you're curious about what we're seeing, check out our Instagram and Facebook and landmonkey.ca. Definitely you'll see lots of photos that we're posting on our social media. But more importantly, we want to thank our patrons and everybody in the live chat tonight who's helping to keep the show going, and all the fun and interesting things you guys always come up with. Also a reminder, it is International Earth Cache Weekend this coming weekend. So excited. I love it. We have found a few earth caches here already, some really cool ones, some neat new geology to me. But also we are saving a couple because, you want to make sure you have one for International Earth Cache Day and get your souvenir. So if you haven't gotten your souvenir already, hope you're able to get yours. All right. Also a shout out to the First to Solve group for my This Puzzle is Nuts puzzle. Congratulations. It looks like you guys had a good time solving that one. Finally, if you're curious about what that noise is that you're hearing in the background here, occasionally you're hearing a moped, but beyond that, what you're hearing is the whistling frogs of Bermuda. I'm not kidding. So anyways, we're having a good time, but we're also looking forward to getting back home eventually and look forward to joining the podcast again and seeing all of you awesome people. So in the meantime, cache safely, cache often, and don't forget to earth cache.
There you have it. You guys are in the chat are just on top of it. I mean, Trexer was asking, what's that background noise? Oh, I already listened to it. I know he's going to ask that, so I'll wait.
Trexer figured it out, though.
Yeah. Breiling figured it out, I think. So it's singing frogs.
Yeah, but Trexer figured out the real answer.
Oh, yeah. Sounds a bit like nails on a chalkboard and seagulls mixed together.
Yeah.
How about seagull nails on a chalkboard?
Could be.
Mm-hmm. Komakino says, oh, monkey rubbing it in. I'm in Bermuda, and you're stuck in the damp Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, good for him. He deserves some time away.
Starcasher says, I love Bermuda. I was there way before geocaching existed.
Nice. Never been.
Like a year. I'm like, what is this? Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Oh, yeah. Singing frog. He's really in Hamilton, Ontario, not Bermuda.
Really, there's not much difference.
Yeah, he wouldn't know. Wet Coaster has asked,
yes,
as a FATAS, since we are in
the after show.
You're welcome. He says, are Adventure Labs given too much weight for Reach the Peak promotions? Interesting.
I hadn't noticed.
Now, this month, they're at 350 points per location, right? So a 5-location Adventure Lab will give you what? 1,500 and 1,650? Is that right, math?
Sure. Sounds right to me.
I don't have a calculator button on here.
So
My other
so you're
keyboard has
saying
a
that
calculator button.
you could just go out and do a couple of venture labs and reach the peak? Is that what I'm
Yeah.
hearing people say? Ah,
That's the whole point.
okay. I don't know. I never thought about it because I haven't done the venture lab in months. So
350 times 5 is 1750. That was wrong.
nothing into nothing. Careful.
Carry the zero.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Thanks, Jane.
So, 1,750 points. You just need a couple of those and you've reached the peak. I don't know. Early on, they were, 450 points or 425 points. So they carried a lot more weight.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see how that goes as we go on. Starcacher says, I'm more of a traditional cacher, so I agree they seem to be higher than the others. Wet Coaster says, we got both souvenirs with just Adventure Labs.
Okay.
Adventure Labs.
Well, maybe it makes them more reachable for people that would have trouble getting out to the caches. I don't know.
It's time for the Wet Coaster After Show.
Yes, because Wet Coaster's contributed 3 FATAS contributions.
Well, and thank you, Wet Coaster. We
Yes.
appreciate that. That means the rest of you have to pick it up.
Yeah, so he asks his second question, can we have Earth Cache Day, or he says weekend, can we have a move around? For example, the first weekend of October next year, the second weekend, and so on. Keep it in October, but maybe move it to different weekends.
Yeah, because, it does fall. So Canadian Thanksgiving, or as Canadians call it, Thanksgiving, it falls on October 11th this year. So the 9th and 10th are, just days prior.
Okay.
And it typically falls, or Earth Cache weekend and Canadian Thanksgiving are typically right there, together. So it's
U.S. Thanksgiving, or as I call it, Thursday, is just a time for parades, football, and overtime at work.
Overeating.
Nah.
Okay. Wet Coaster has another question in the Wet Coaster After Show. Cache maintenance is just as important for Adventure Labs as it is for other caches. Make sure your labs are up to date. Signs go missing. Bonus caches can get archived.
Bonus.
Bonus caches can go bogus.
Oh, then it's a bogus cache.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Hey, folks, thank you for joining us. Wet Coaster, thank you for, you hosted the after show.
Yeah.
The after show.
The Wet Coaster After Show. Thank you for that. Hey, folks, until next week, think of a FATAS and then mail it in to feedback@cachingnw.com while you're out caching in the Northwest.